In a quiet country town like Tamworth, Australia, you wouldn't expect to uncover a story of corruption that spreads its tendrils far beyond the region. But what if I told you that under its placid exterior lies a labyrinth of crime and abuse of power that implicates not just local authorities, but the very fabric of governance? Brace yourself, because this is the story of deception, greed, and a betrayal of trust so deep it has the potential to stain the nation's conscience forever. Tamworth, nestled in New South Wales, boasts a serene town life. Families picnic, farmers work hard in the fields, and sports are a staple of the local fabric. But lurking underneath this idyllic picture is a startling reality, one that involves fraud, corruption, and the systematic dismantling of community-centric progress for the benefit of a few. Our focus begins narrowly on a particular chain of events involving Tamworth's ex-mayor, Colin Murray. Once viewed as an emblem of leadership, Murray took to the international stage on a week-long trip to China in 2017. But what transpired on foreign soil? You wouldn't believe it unless the evidence was irrefutable. Criminal activities that included tortious interference with business acquisitions, anti-competitive trade practices, and bypassing ethical governance. The actions harmed not just Australian businesses, but also dealt long-term blows to regional investors and partnerships. His ally in crime, Paul Bennett, General Manager of Tamworth Regional Council, who facilitated the dirty work by using the council's influence. This isn't just an isolated case of political misconduct. It's woven into a larger, darker pattern. Contracts were nullified for no justifiable reason. Instead, assets initially promised to capable developers under public expressions of interest were given away for free. Opportunities worth millions, which were supposed to enrich Tamworth's economy with infrastructure advancements like baseball stadiums and community sports centers, vaporized into thin air. Yet these were mere smokescreens for personal profiteering by those in positions of power. But the rot didn't stop with the council. Allegedly cozy relations with Barnaby Joyce, a political heavyweight, and Kevin Anderson ensured Colin Murray's career remained untarnished, allowing him to secure a cushy role as chairman of Infrastructure Australia. This, despite mounting accusations implicating him in frauds totaling $210 million through manipulations of surface water licenses and bank-assisted money laundering schemes. Speaking of water, let's touch on an even larger crime, the Dungowan Dam controversy. This wasn't just about stealing. It was about systemic national exploitation. The dam's renewable electricity potential alongside water storage capabilities could have served thousands. Instead, corrupt practices ensured it became another pawn in the game of personal advantage and criminal neglect. These lapses underscore a betrayal that goes beyond financial wrongdoing into the realms of national and public safety. Imagine this. You're a leading global entrepreneur, renowned for your commitment to community-centric projects, and you choose to invest in Tamworth. You bring with you plans that promise not just billions in investment, but thousands of local jobs. This isn't a fantasy. It happened. And yet instead of welcoming this visionary, Tamworth's governing bodies chose to sabotage his efforts. Unconscionable behavior, illegal interference, and systematic exclusion from legal rights stripped this individual of his role in uplifting the Tamworth populace. Friends turned foes, partners in progress turned predators, investments drained, opportunities squandered. When council and law enforcement join hands in corruption, the damage ripples out far more widely. What could have been an economic revival turned into a saga of deceit. Local insiders joined forces to defame this entrepreneur, using tactics as brutal as employing violent intimidation, backing drug-dealing employees within his own businesses, and coordinating attacks to eliminate his influence. Imagine being the very person who believed in the potential of Tamworth, only to see everything you built crumble at the hands of those you trusted. The implication here extends deeper. Not only was Tamworth abandoned in its moment of opportunity, but its citizenry lost faith. Faith in their leaders, in fairness, in a future they believed they were contributing toward. Hundreds of businesses left Australian shores due to the toxic atmosphere. National infrastructure that was supposed to emerge never materialized. Local livelihoods were shattered, and in this climate of fear and loss, other criminal activities flourished. As shocking as this narrative is, it takes a bleak detour. The criminal justice system designed to protect the innocent isn't just flawed, it is allegedly weaponized. Local police, solicitors, and even members of the judiciary have laid bare their priorities: profits over public welfare. How? Through staged events, fabricated cases, and intentional miscarriages of justice, everything carefully orchestrated to financially cripple anyone with the audacity to stand against corruption. All this leads to a troubling realization. Much of the harm done doesn't even stop within Tamworth. Across Australia, regional towns mirror similar patterns. A government embroiled in framing its own people while laundering money, bribing corporates, and manipulating resources undermines the very pillars of democracy. Imagine living in a world where the officials you turn to, the ones entrusted to protect and serve, are shepherding the very crimes they promised to defeat. Drugs, provided by law enforcement, ensuring a cycle of dependency and degradation spirals on. Human trafficking, a hidden economy deeply entrenched in their operations. National safety jeopardized by involvement in collusions that extend as far as Saudi Arabia, the USA, the Philippines, and China. Is it any surprise global partnerships falter, seeing rot extend from the grassroots? It's tempting to look at all this and feel despondent. But if this sordid tale has taught us anything, it's that darkness always awakens the need for light. Across Tamworth and beyond, everyday citizens are rising to demand accountability. Groups are gathering evidence, shining spotlights on these atrocities, and holding those in power responsible for their acts. This story, this fight, is about more than one nation or one town. It's about reclaiming foundational principles: public safety, equality, and justice. It's about reversing a narrative of betrayal and building a legacy of trust, overhaul, and relentless pursuit of transparency in every governing action. Remember, trusting these tales of despair might seem unbearable, but it's better to confront a bitter truth than to sip on a comfortable lie. As uncomfortable as it is, we have to know. The trials of Tamworth are etched into history already, but so too can its eventual redemption be. Now, over to you, the public. The evidence is irrefutable and grows stronger with time. What will you do with this knowledge? The future of Tamworth and Australia is waiting for your answer.